It's already broken it up. I'm going to have a look at it to start with, just so I can... Alright, so the few things that I'm going to go through today are, number one, I've got a couple of rocks left over from a couple of specimens that I've found in the past that I haven't crushed, so that's something really easy that you can do at home. That one's from the specimen that I found just the other week, or a week and a half ago. And this is another really mineralized piece of ironstone and quartz. I can't quite remember where I got that one from, but I'm sure it's come off a little specimen piece. And the next move is I'm going to be able to tape up my coil. It's really important to keep your coil taped so you don't get any more mineralized dust and dirt underneath your coil there, which can increase the instability of your machine. So if you want your machine to run more stable and smoother, it's a really, really recommended idea that you regularly retape your detector. And the other idea that you can do when you're at home in these rained out lockdown days are research. I always go on about research, but it's the number one thing. So I've got my Doug Stone books and my shallow occurrences and these Steve Barnum and John Tully maps. Using as much things as you can really helps to define and narrow down the area you're going to go prospect. And the more you can narrow it down, the more you can concentrate your efforts all along one particular area and do a better job, and usually it equals better results. So what I'll do is I'll go through and show you now. We'll start off by crushing these rocks and we'll move on to the coil. I'll show you guys what happens. Thank you. Okay, so I'm out the back. I've got my 2 quartz rocks. This one's a little bit of mineralized quartz. This one's actually a bit of quartz and ironstone matrix. So I've got an anvil, I've got my little hammer, I've got a little bit of gene that I'm going to put them in to stop it going everywhere. And then I'll put them into my pan and see what I get. So the first bit. Alright, so it's not completely powdered up or anything, but that's going to be good enough for checking this first rock. So I'm going to go put a little bit of water in it and I'll see whether we get any show of gold. There's a little bit of black sands in there, but not seeing any gold. Okay, we have this second rock. It's a bit denser, a lot more mineralized, a couple of different types of rocks types. So, see what this one brings us. Well, it was a bit more quartzy. It's interesting. So, once again, it's not a fine powder, but that's going to be as good as I get. I've got some stuff down really fine, so it'll be enough for me to see whether there's a bit of fine gold going through it. I'll go put some water in it and pan it. This one's full of a really red clay. I'm going to have to clean it out a bit. Okay, so cleaned it up much better now. I'll shake it all down. Well, there's a lot more black sands in this, which is a positive. You can see all the black sands at the top here. Well, I hope you can. No, nothing in that one either. Alright, the first thing we need to do with the taping of the coil is remove the old material. Sometimes it comes off nice and smoothly. Other times it can be a little bit of a pain. Now I notoriously over-tape my detector, but I just find it's easier to do a bit of an excessive job and not have to worry about it than to underdo it and find you're doing it more than once when you don't really need to. So it's slowly coming off there, it's not too bad. Alright, we've got it off. And look at all that dirt, all that dust. That's shocking. So all that loose stuff, it can be mineralized little bits of dust and dirt. And as you're detecting, it's floating around underneath your coil, making it just a little bit more unstable. So it's a good thing I've taken this off to clean it. And if you have a look at the coil itself, it's got all this dirt and muddy stuff as well. So we need to give that a wipe down, and then I'll tape that straight back up. So I'm going to put some smaller tape onto my coil this time, just because that's what I've got. I said I don't mind having the bigger tape to be able to be a little bit excessive. It's rather than doing it a couple of times, but what I like to do is generally start it at the base of the stalk, your stem, and you want to be just overlapping where the skid plate and the edge of that coil is, so both have a firm flat connection with the tape. Now with the tape that you're using, you just want to be using a cloth tape that has no metallic objects or a non-iron composite tape, because there are some tapes that will set off your machine. So best way to do it is get some tape and just swing it over your detector. And once you've got a nice smooth contact on the bottom, I just go along, pressing down all the coil tape on top of the coil so it all comes up nice and smooth looking. And there we are. The coil's back, ready to be used. So we've crushed down that couple of quartz rocks, we've retaped our coil, so we've done 2 of the 3 activities to pass our day away. The final one, as I was saying to start with, is just research. The more you can do this research, especially when you're sitting at home and you can't go prospecting anyway, it will help you go leaps and bounds into finding gold. So I find the number one thing that I always give myself a bit of grief about is that I need to do more research, more investigating into newspaper articles and geological maps, and also I do a little bit of it, but I never seem to quite do enough, is boots on the ground research. So finding areas where I need to go, walk up creeks, walk up hills and bends and try and find old gold workings. So it's something that's really cool, really interesting. I like reading through old newspaper articles and looking at maps and seeing where different old mines and things like that were located. But it's just a really, really helpful thing to do. And as I said, on a day like today, it's one of the more enjoyable things that keeps you warm. So, but that's a lot for today, guys. I just thought I'd go through a few things that you can get done while you're in rained out weather, or you're in lockdown, or just at home in general. So you can do it during the week and stuff like that, just preparing for your next prospecting trips, because it really does help. But the coil's all taped up, ready to go. We've got our new spot researched by the end of the day, and we've crushed up and panned out our specimens. So it's been a productive day considering we haven't left the house. Thanks again for watching, guys. It's all been really, really appreciated. Cheers.